Hey everybody, it's Rich Tola. Here we go, Tola Talks Texas. This is episode 6. Pretty excited. Set the goal to have 6 shows this year. And pretty jazzed up, guys. Finishing strong, as I say, to a crazy year, right? It's been a crazy one. Let's talk about that because now's the time to assess your goals and failures of the year. Successes too, I call them small victories in the war. You read my book, you know how I think. These small victories are small but significant. They're all significant, right? These little 6 shows are significant. Wanted to get back on the air. I had the Tola Talks 2.0, which we kind of wrapped up. Did 20 episodes of that. It was a YouTube show, but really jazzed up to get back. So hey, hope you're having an awesome day, awesome finish to the year. Be safe, be strong, all that jazz. We'll get into that in a moment, but let's talk about it because it's a time to assess couple things, your personal life, including your health and fitness life. That's very important. Health equals wealth, foundation of my religion, Tolism here, and family life. No doubt, it's very important to assess your family life. How'd you do this year? If you're single, what about your dating life? I got to get back into that world. All right, we'll talk later there too about kids. Business life. Are you happy at work? Are you miserable? You got to quit. You got to move on. If you're miserable, find something that's going to jazz you up because it's important. You got to be happy every day, guys. It's all about feeling. It's more about feeling than it is thinking, right? You got to be happy. So find something that works for you. Pursue your passion. I mean, I'm passionate about talking, so here we go. I love it here. How about your universe life? I really believe that. Your footprint in society. What is your footprint in society? How do you contribute to society? But these three words are most important. Respect, discipline, and courage. That's what you have to have in your personal, family, business, and universe life. Respect, discipline, and courage. There's not been a lot of courage going on. I talk about neutered house cats. It seems like we've become neutered house cats in this great country of ours. You know, I don't know. That's the whole COVID world, but got to be courageous. Guys, let's just jump right in. Not going to do current events today. We're doing top 10 stories of 2021. Top 10 stories. And by the way, if you're listening to me, thanks for listening, and you probably have the same mindset that I do. I mean, if you don't like what I have to say, obviously don't listen to me, but if you do, you believe in grabbing yourselves by the bootstraps, saving yourself, not letting other people sway you, so that's kudos, man. Kudos, and thanks for listening. So, all right, here we go. Number 1 was the U.S. Capitol riots. Remember that? January 6th, $1.5 million worth of damage. A second impeachment of Trump occurred about a week later. That was the first story. They're going to be rehashing all that, and I believe Trump's giving a speech on that day as well. Number 2 was the Joe Biden inauguration, our 46th president, who today has the worst approval rating of any polling era president. I did not vote for Biden. I voted for Trump. That's in a previous episode. You could talk about that, but that was big news, right? Joe won on the foundation that he's going to save you and, I guess, get rid of COVID. Now he's throwing it back to the states. So, well, whatever you think about that. Number 3 was the GameStop short squeeze. You guys remember that? The stock went from $5 to $350 in 6 months. I mean, I did not buy GameStop stock. I know a lot of people did. I did not. The average price, I think, was $162. But short sellers, you guys know what short sellers are. They're selling in hopes of stock going down, buying it back, making their money on that difference between what they sold it for and what they repurchased it at a lower number. They lost $26 billion with a B, and that was pretty cool because who likes short sellers? They really kind of mash and do damage to a stock or a crypto, which we'll talk about cryptos later. Number 4 story was the Ever Given. Remember the massive cargo ship? Had 18,000 containers that ran aground in the Suez Canal, delayed $60 billion worth of products. That was a big deal. They finally got that out. All right, number 5 was the rise of NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You know what they are. They're built upon the blockchain technology. Remember this artist Beeple sold artwork for $69 million. Yeah, I mean, I never really didn't get into the NFTs, but who knows, maybe I will. But Jack Dorsey founder of Twitter, his first tweet sold. And how about Nike sneakers were selling? I mean, these are houses were selling. All sorts of things were selling in the world of NFTs, which is here to stay, I'm sure. All right, the sixth story, vaccines for all for COVID. The vaccines, and they say 61% of, I don't know if it's America, what is this, 61% are fully vaxxed, except me. I'm not vaxxed. We talked about that in the previous episode, why I believe the vaccines are supplemental, and they're really for those who are susceptible to it. And as far as the Omicron, the variant, they're not effective. Talked about that yesterday. 10 people at a party, all fully vaxxed and boosted up. And everybody got sick except for the 3 elderly people, which is kind of interesting. So that's what I said yesterday. I'm confused. Whatever your thoughts are on that, hey, if you're a believer, that's great. Good for you. It's a personal choice. Not for me. I'm looking to have a child, so find someone who's not vaxxed just like me. But I'm in the minority, I know, and I'm being victimized, I know. I mean, lost 3 jobs because of it and kicked out of my beloved LA. But anyway, that's the way it goes. Got to stay true to your beliefs, guys. Got to be courageous. Number 7 story was the billionaire space race. How about this? Elon Musk, awesome, with Tesla and SpaceX. Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, he went up 66.5 miles, kind of shot up there and came back down. He's selling tickets to kind of do that. And Richard Branson, he's awesome too, Virgin Galactic. He went up 53 miles. And all these guys are racing to kind of conquer space. My thoughts on space are this. I mean, I'd rather see the money funneled back into the homeless and kind of curing poverty and the nastiness on our streets, although it's very, very clean in Texas. Be happy to be in Texas, Plano especially, but there's a lot of crap out on the streets, people just throwing things everywhere. But I get it. We want to go to the moon, want to go to Mars, want to do all this thing, spending billions of dollars, but I'd rather see some of that money funneled into here, because what are we looking for out there? I guess if you believe in UFOs, I do. I mean, people have come here probably from outer space, right? But what are we looking to do? Upset the apple cart up there? I don't know. Anyway, let's not get into that for a later time. But they did say, with SpaceX, by the way, he had 4 civilians spend 3 days without a trained astronaut on board. I think that's pretty cool. But again, a lot of money spent for space. Number 8 was mental health. Dominated the Tokyo Olympics with the gymnast Simone Biles. She's awesome. She withdrew, as you guys know. A lot of issues with mental health, no doubt, especially with all this COVID. Depression, anxiety, sleep disorder, substance abuse. Got to address that. I'd rather see more money funneled into that as well. Give a shout out to anyone who's doing their best to stay strong, but you got to stay strong mentally. It's the mind, body, spirit. That's the yoga in me. All right, here we go. Number 9, America withdrew from Afghanistan. That was a disaster on August 31st. We left billions of dollars worth of military weaponry, and Taliban gained control in 10 days right after, and they definitely they're suppressing Afghanistan, I'm sure. But anyway, that was number 9. And number 10, well, this is number 10 that was listed, the Facebook files. These guys saw that. There was a whistleblower. Stop harming vulnerable populations. I'm not that active on Facebook. I mean, I post the show, but there is my page up there. But I don't know. I never got into the concept of wasting time, kind of shopping, doing things. And to me, it's a function of time and energy, right? I'd rather be working out, putting it back into the physical body. I read a lot, putting it into the mental mind, spirit. Quietly meditating, whatever it is that keeps you. But I think the 10th one should be the rise of the cryptocurrencies, because cryptos really spiked big time in May, right? Everybody got in, fear of missing out. But cryptos are here to stay, guys. So that was a big story for 2021. What about my highlights? Guys should write this down. I mean, I kind of jot this down. My personal highlights. So here's for me. I mean, I'm going to do the top 5 with a bonus track here. Top 5. I worked out over 500 times to regain my muscle and weight loss during the whole COVID, when they shut down the gyms. Because I go to the gym, guys, every day. I believe in the iron. Iron will set you free, a daily dose of iron. What's great about the iron is that it has no memory. It doesn't really give a shit whether you worked out the day before, 5 days before. It doesn't really care what you're going to do tomorrow. No, it doesn't have any feelings, It's just there. It's there for you. It's there for you to empower yourself. That's what I love about it. Pure iron. You got to pump the iron, guys. Pumping iron. That's Arnold. We talked about Arnold a couple shows back. Kudos to helping the homeless veterans. But anyway, that was number one. Worked out over 500 times. I did that workout challenge for you guys to work out 100 times in 170 days before Christmas. I don't know how many times you did, but if you worked out 5 times, then I guess I worked. In the year, you got to grab yourself by the bootstraps. It's a new year coming up. That's important. Doesn't matter what you do. Walk, bike, run, jog, swim, yoga, weights. Again, weights are going to tone you. You want those muscles to be sculpted, hit the iron. Number 2 for me, I walked over 6,000 miles this year. That's right, to solidify my clean bill of health from my doctor. I go see a doctor once a year. That's it. And he kicks me out. He's like, get out of here, because nobody's like you. Blood pressure 110/60. That top number, the systolic number, should be less than 120. You guys know that. The bottom number, the diastolic number, should be less than 80. Again, I'm 110/60, pretty damn good for a 59-year-old dude. But again, I work out every day. I walk. I don't eat a whole lot, except for that fast food. I said I'd do that, but eat a lot of spinach, like blueberries, peanut butter, bananas. What else do I like? I eat pretzels. I'm a pretzel guy. I don't really eat any other chips. I do eat cookies. I'm a cookie monster, without a doubt. I like my cookies, all sorts of cookies. Ginger cookies are probably my favorite, but I do like the chocolate chip because I love chocolate, although that's not great for you to digest. How about number 3? This is huge, guys. You guys know I was a substitute teacher as one of my side hustles for a couple years, and I taught kindergarten. I was the second teacher. There were 3 of us, about 30 kids, virtual kindergarten for 2 semesters. Well, about 1.5. And I taught first grade on my own. I had my own first grade class for about 2 weeks. That was awesome. Let me tell you something. Changed my life. I definitely wanted to have a child. Never was around. Give a shout out to my nieces and nephews. My regrets are maybe I wasn't around as much when they were growing up because I was out in Cali pursuing the dream. 15 years out there, and those kids are all in their 20s now, early 20s. But I was thinking about them and sent them the energy, light and love from Cali for sure. But kinder and first grade, guys, let me tell you, those kids are the happiest. They're the best. Happy Friday. By the way, Happy Friday. That was awesome. It was always Happy Friday. We would draw pictures. I think I told you that story. I had one little girl. She was great. First time it was a Happy Friday. Here I am. I got the cryptos in the background, and they did a picture. It was pretty cool, right? I told this story probably already, but they're drawing, and I'm not drawing. And then when they're done, everybody holds the picture up. They use crayons and everything, and she's like, Mr. T, where's your picture? And I'm like, well, let me real quick on the spot. I'm thinking, what do I do? I said, Mr. T, he couldn't draw today because he doesn't have any crayons. I thought, what are they going to say? She's like, Mr. T doesn't have any crayons, well, why don't you just go buy some? Oh, it was awesome. A little kindergartner calling me out. Let me tell you, I went out and bought the biggest batch of crayons I could find, and every single day from that point on, I never missed a drawing. Loved it. And I got into animals, and that's what I was teaching my first graders. It was really cool. We'd show videos, and let me tell you, man, kids are smart. And they're very, very, their minds are powerful, and they're very malleable at that age, and they remember better than the seniors. Seniors don't even, let me tell you, when I taught virtually first couple times, I moved to kinder because these kids in 12th grade, 10th grade, they wouldn't use their camera. They wouldn't even use their audio. You didn't even know they were there. So let me tell you, kids need to be in school because they're not learning anything virtually unless they're the type of kid that wants to learn virtually, which isn't a high percentage of them. But kinder and first, they loved it. They couldn't wait to be at school. Anyway, number 4, I moved to Texas, great state of Texas, land of the free, home of the brave, because it really is. I mean, I wasn't into mask wearing and never got into that. I just believe you got to empower yourself, stay strong, right? Save yourself. I guess the first go-round was a little more dangerous. This last one, Omicron, Omicron, this is a cold. I believe it's a cold or the flu, which we haven't seen in 2 years. So anyway, again, if you don't find my beliefs, it's my personal choice. It's how I see the world. But anyway, I moved to Texas, great state of Texas. I moved out of LA. I loved LA. I really did. I was pursuing it there, but it didn't matter. I couldn't work out, couldn't go to Burger King, couldn't go anywhere. I mean, forget about it. They locked you down. I kept walking. I was walking down the street. Homeless people laying around, nobody wearing a mask. It was unbelievable. I just walked and walked and walked and stayed away from people. So anyway, came here. This was a great move. Thanks for having me. I know a lot of people moved out of New York, California, moved to Florida, Texas, free states. Kudos. All right. Number 5, T3, Tola Talks Texas. I did. I launched this show. Really excited to get back on the air. Like to be maybe part of someone else's team. Hey, there's someone out there, talk show, needs a co-host. Hit me up. I mean, hey, this is great. Who knows that maybe I could become the next Joe Rogan or Howard Stern. Who knows? But, well, listen, I'll look forward to where this goes. Again, one home run doesn't make a home run hitter. It's my 6th show, but we'll see where we go next year. Looking to do it on a daily basis. Love it. The whole production side, let me tell you, the good part, it's always like 2 sides of a coin, right? It's like working out. Yeah, it takes time, but it also beats up your body. That's the flip side of it. It's not every day that I feel good when I'm working out. So that's what, there's always 2 sides to it. There's the good and the bad. You got to take it. Same thing with this show. I love the preparation, love the show, but it's like on a baseball team. I'm the pitcher, the catcher, the first baseman, second base. You have to. I'm doing everything here, guys. That's the good news is I've learned to do everything, producing the show, from the engineering of it, setting up the show, the volume. There's a lot going on, as you guys know. When I was on the radio, LA Talk Radio, I had an engineer doing all that. It was awesome. Just kind of strap in, do the show, excited. And I had someone doing all the social media. But right now, hey, I'm doing everything. I'm the cook. I'm what they say. I'm everybody. But it's fun. It's fun. And here's a bonus track from me. Highlights of 2020. I got to visit my family. I did. I went back in June. I helped my father through cancer surgery. It took out 2 feet of his intestines there. And talk about grabbing yourselves by the bootstraps. He came back strong. Been battling that for years. So kudos to anyone who's battling cancer. I know what that's about. My father had a rough time, but he got through it. He's back to 100%. He's still got to do some more procedures to keep him going. But hey, I hope he lives another 10 years. So hey, shout out to my family, my mother, who's been awesome in supporting him, especially the family along the way. My brother, sister, nieces, nephews, son, and my brother-in-law, sister-in-law. Way to go, everybody. Cousins. Give a shout out to Kelly. Anyway, that's it for my little. How about drinking from the? Let's talk about this, drinking from the fountain of youth. Because anyone who's read my book, if you haven't read it, because a lot of people don't like to read, could listen to it. Did the audio book. I'll tell you, the day I recorded the audio book, it was back in January. Yeah, I guess, and that's another big success. Give a shout out to Chris, who was my engineer there. I was trading Doge that day. I'm no kidding. Dogecoin started making a move, and I think I made about 5,000 that day. And he's looking at me between the chapters. I would go and sit down and look at I was trading on Robinhood on my phone, and I wasn't even sure what I was doing. I was just buying, selling, and I was just like, put it all up, take it all out, put it all up. I started with, anyway, that was a good time, recording that. So anyway, let's talk about that. The book was a winner at the Firebird Book Awards for Aging, and won 2 awards for Aging and Mind, Body, Spirit. Give a shout out to Pat Rulo, Speak Up Talk Radio. She's awesome, and I really appreciated what I had to say, because I say it in 30 steps. That's right. How to drink from the fountain of youth. There's 30 steps to everlasting youth. Let me tell you the first 3 steps and the last 3 steps. First 3 steps, keep moving. You have to keep moving, people. Have to. Can't become sedentary, just sitting there in the basement watching TV or doing your video games. I got my neighbor. I hear him all the time. So he does play probably Gears of War. I don't know what he's playing, but he's playing video games. Number 2 is be vain. In a good way. It's what I believe. I think you really have to care about the physical body, the temple. You only get one temple. That's it. When it's gone, you're gone. Adios. And number 3 is love the scale. I get on the scale every day. I mean, it's like, how do you monitor yourself if you're not getting on the scale? And I do. I keep track. I mean, I'm trying to push my weight up to, trying to get back to 150, guys. I got a couple more pounds to go. And my fighting weight was probably 155, but I played ball. I told you I was 165 back in my heyday, and that's the days I could 165. I could curl my weight, straight bar and bench twice my weight. Those are the strong days. Now I'm still strong, but I'm probably 148 today. So anyway, I get on the scale every single day, monitor that, trying to push that up, building back the muscle, building back the weight that I lost during COVID. Here's the bottom 3, the last 3. Number 28, believe in your dreams. Have to believe in your dreams, no matter how lofty those dreams are. We'll talk about one of my dreams I came up with yesterday after watching this film. We'll get to that in a moment, but it doesn't really matter how lofty they are, right? You want to be a billionaire? We'll stick with that. But how are you progressing? What are your small victories in the war? What are your actions? In my book, it's a journal too, guys. I like to write things down. I keep a notebook every day. I write things down. And journaling's important. So in the book, there's a bunch of pages for you to keep track of your actions, your small victories in the war, because you got to keep track. You got to keep moving forward. What are you doing to move forward? You can't just have them and then sit in the base and play video games. By the way, a friend of mine taught me a lot about video games. And what I thought was a little interesting about it is this kids of all ages, 12, 14, 18, talking, on these headsets, talking to guys in their 30s and 40s. I always found that a little strange. But anyway, if you're into video games, matter of fact, I have a friend of mine whose son's into it, and I met him, and I said, so, are you any good at that? Because if you're really good, I mean, these guys make, they win tournaments. Tournaments are like $60,000 for a 3-day weekend tournament. I had no idea that these guys can make money. In a team, 5, 6 guys, you're going to make probably like $6,000 to $10,000 on a weekend. Yeah, there's money to be made if you're the best. But my friend, he's a big player. He said to me, he loses his way to the top, right? It's a game where you like kill people, right? And he kills it. I watched him play a game, and he's on a team, and the guy who was the most kills had 35, and he had 5. Now he's the bottom, but he's on a team of 3 or 4 people. And I'm like, well, this guy's 7 times better than you. I'm like, well, what's the point of that? If you're not going to be great at it, if you're doing it just for pleasure, then go find pleasure in fitness. Anyway, that was number 28. Step 29 is know you're young. You have to know it. I know it. I believe I got stuck at the age 30. I do, and it's not just how I look, it's how I feel and how I think. Got to think young, stay young, be young forever. Know you're young. And step 30, the last step, this is directly from my memoir, self-correct. When you get off track, guys, self-correct. That's what you have to do. You got to get yourself back on track. It's like a car, you're driving down the highway, right? And then you're between the lines, and then all of a sudden maybe you doze out and you kind of go over the lines, and now the cars tell you, they remind you, or if someone's coming up, I see it in my rear, that window, my side window, tells me. It self-corrects. You got to self-correct, guys. You have to do it. In my book, I talk about how an actor has a director there to direct them, right, in the scene. Because it's hard for a director to kind of get in their head. The actor to get in their head. We talked about this with the lines. You want to be organic. So it's easy for them because they have someone on the outside helping them correct. But you have to self-correct. That's very important. So, and the outro is you can. My intro to the book is anyone can, and the outro is you can. So, dreams, you got to have dreams. Wilder the better. You have to have actions and more actions. And you have to have victories, small victories, and more small victories. So write them down, guys. Write them down. Stick with it, because anything is possible if you set your sights and try. All right, those are my top steps. Let's jump into my workout today. Felt really good, guys. I was there, clocked in around 5:20. I get up early, as you know. I clocked in at 5:20. Total mishmash. I didn't really care what I was doing today, although I did do 2 supersets to start day workout. Told you I love dips and pull-ups. Do that, love it. And then I did shoulders and triceps on the bench. So those I just had to do the superset. You know what a superset is, combining 2, not taking a break, boom, boom. And then it was a total mishmash. I just walked around the gym aimlessly. It was like kind of smiling, thinking, all right, what am I going to do? I didn't really care what I was going to do. Chest, back, biceps, shoulders, and more tries. No legs today, guys, but I am going back because I believe you have to finish strong. So I'm going to go back to the gym later today. They close at 7 o'clock at night. I'll be back before then. Get some more stretching in, some more abs, a little bit of yoga. And maybe some more biceps, maybe blast out the bis. And tomorrow morning, they close for 12 hours. They open up at 7 a.m., so I'll be there at 7:01 for sure. Love it. By the way, guys, I don't know about you, but the dictionary puts out a word of the day. Merriam-Webster dictionary is what I get. It's word of the day, Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. It's a pretty cool word. I mean, tough one to spell, but Zeitgeist. It's general, intellectual, moral, and cultural climate of an era. Say that again. Word of the day. I love reading the word of the day because that's how you empower your vocabulary. Zeitgeist. It's the general, intellectual, moral, and cultural climate of an era. It's changing. It's always changing, right? Intellectual. I mean, how intellectual are we? Kids are not in school. Kids aren't learning. Let me tell you, my experience teaching high school, wow. Now, this was inner city LA, but I remember the time, I don't know if I told this story. I taught biology class, and I said to these kids, I said, listen, I've never graded kids before, and I didn't know what their potential was or even how they did it. Now we're talking about homework assignments don't really matter, and I don't know if you read about that in Virginia, but everything matters. Kids have to learn discipline. Kids have to learn that success comes from, it's like you have to constantly better yourself, and you have to set goals. You have to set watermarks, right? If you give kids an assignment and then you tell them you don't have to do the assignment or there's no repercussions for not doing the assignment or turning it in late, what's going to happen when that kid goes to get a job? It's like you go work as a server or a bartender and you show up late, you set everything, it's like a domino effect. Everything happens, it just slows you down. Hey, I remember working as a bartender, setting it up for the afternoon happy hour shift. They would bring me in 15 minutes before they open up the door. Anybody set up a bar by yourself, a 12-seat bar with 20 tables? They try doing that in 15 minutes. The ice takes you 5 minutes just to get the ice. It's unbelievable. It takes 30 minutes to set up a bar. They had you do it in 15. So I would get there early, 15 minutes early. He said, you can't clock in. I said, I didn't care. I'd rather be prepared. So the minute the first person walks in the door, you're not behind the 8 ball. Well, nowadays, there's no repercussions for not doing the work. It's unbelievable. You have to put yourself in an intellectual capacity and try to empower that mind. Morally and culturally, what kind of morals do you have? Cultural climate. Anyway, Zeitgeist, I won't rambling about that, but getting back to that school example, let me just finish that. So I just said to the kids, I said, listen, I'd like to help everybody, but I can't give everybody A's, right? I said, so what I'll do is I went to the board and I said, the top third, there was 40 kids in that class, maybe more. The top third get A's, the middle third gets B's, and the bottom third gets C's. I said, I'm not going to give any D's or F's unless you do not come to class. And every day, I gave them an assignment. And it was an easy assignment, pretty much. Answer 5 questions, 3 questions, whatever. And they just had to turn it in, and I helped them do it, and I gave them time to do it. And, and that's it. Then the kid raises his hand, and he said, Mister, are you saying that we have to compete against each other? I said, hey, kid, what do you think this world's about? It is a competition, guys. I mean, come on, everybody can't be a billionaire, right? Anyway, be nice if we all were. Anyway, there's the word of the day, Zeitgeist. Add it to your vocabulary. All right, let me get into this here because before I get into cryptocurrencies, I want to give a shout out to Noomi Rapace. She's got a 20-year career, all right. The girl with the dragon tattoo. I talked about this. The Stieg Larsson books, a trilogy. I watched all three movies now. I said it a couple days back that I wanted to watch. The girl with the dragon tattoo, the girl who played with fire, the girl who kicked the hornet's nest. So I did it in reverse order this time. I've watched them before, but let me tell you something. It's Swedish films, so if you don't like subtitles, too bad. It's great. They're great films. Lisbeth Salander, she plays co-star Michael Nyqvist. He plays Mikael Blomkvist. Anyway, these guys are great. It got 35 nominations, about 35. Half of those went to Noomi. She won 6 awards with that. She won Best Actress 4 times, the Empire Awards in the UK, the Guldbagge Awards, Satellite Awards, and the New York Film Critics. I mean, Jupiter International. She rocked it, right? She rocked it. So kudos to Noomi, and she did the best breakthrough performance. That was the New York Film Critics. I think Jupiter International, Satellite, Empire, and Guldbagge is the best actress, and she was best female action star. That was the All Women's Film Journal Award, but amazing. She's great. You got to watch her. Does an amazing job. I'm telling you, I love films. You guys know that. I make films. I mean, that's looking to make another one this year. We got shut down with COVID, couldn't do it, but All Mixed Up is on the agenda for this year, guys. I'm going to make that in Texas here, Dallas area. Get some Dallas actors, but that's the song "All Mixed Up" by the Cars. Love that song. But anyway, the film's really cool because I have a message to tell. I want to keep telling it. But anyway, watch those films if you have about 6 hours. And I watch it on Crackle, and there's no advertising in them. But she does a great job. Everybody in the cast does a great job. And you don't have to watch them in chronological order. By the way, I love her work. I would love to work with her one day. That's a lofty goal, but hey, you never know for sure. So here you go. Set your dreams, set your goals. She's been in some, look her up, Lamb. She's been in a lot of things, but continues to work, speaks many languages, Icelandic, Sweden, English. She's awesome. So Noomi, kudos to you. It's inspiring. Film is inspiring. Film says a message. It's inspiring. Makes you laugh. Makes you cry. You know, when you hit all those emotions, that's the way to go. Way to go. All right. What else? All right. Let's talk cryptocurrencies because crypto's had an interesting year. I went all in May and got my ass handed to me in the last 6 months for sure. But no worries. I believe in them. I believe they're going to be readily adopted in the new year for sure. So let's take a look. I'm whipping out the computer right now because everybody follows the big dog, Bitcoin. Everybody knows Bitcoin, right? It's about 48,000. It's knocking on the door here, 47,942. I did predict that Bitcoin would somewhere between 50 and 60 close, but I don't know if it gets to 50. Maybe it runs up. Sometimes around midnight, it'll run up. So I'd love to see Bitcoin close at 50, but my prediction is you'll see Bitcoin reach an all-time high in 2022. It'll cross the 70,000 mark, maybe get to 75 or 80. That's my prediction on Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash, I'm a big fan of Bitcoin Cash. I mean, I wrote it up from 400 to 800, didn't sell it, want to hold that longer term. I think you're going to see Bitcoin Cash back at 800. BSV, the Satoshi Vision, that one is a kind of wild ride. I think you're going to see that back at 200. It's at 123 and change right now. Love to see that back at 163 in January would be cool. I'm going to start trading again, guys, and I'll tell you what my trades are. Come January, I'm going to jump back in. I don't want to pay any more taxes to the state of California. I had a big year with my profits, so just going to sit tight. Litecoin doubles. I think you're going to see Litecoin. I'm a fan of Litecoin. It's at 150. You see it back at 300. Does it get to 300? I think it gets to 2.25 next year, and then on its way up to 3. Love to see, by the way, Bitcoin Cash, if you've seen that. Bitcoin Cash has had an interesting run up to about, 1,500. I think it's even been higher than that, right? In its lifetime, Bitcoin is going up to almost 3,000. So who knows? I mean, like I said, that's like a long shot one, but like it. And then you have Ethereum. Love Ether. By the way, Robinhood, kudos to Robinhood's coming out with the wallet. I'm on the list. I'm like 190,000 on the list, but the crypto wallets are coming out. Looking forward to that because I would like to move most of my Doge. I'll move my Ether. I'll move some Bitcoin Cash over to the wallet, and then just want to start trading again. I used to trade Doge, but then I just got into a long-term hold, and I didn't want to mess with it. The thing about Robinhood is you can't, well, it's like unless you have the wallet, it's hard to trade. You're going to end up with short-term gains. So Ether, though, I definitely see Ether at 6,000, guys. It's at 37.96 today. And then Doge, well, again, I'm a big Doge fan. Dogecoin's about 17.5 cents. I believe that doubles. I think if you're gonna swing and you want to see something double, I think Doge doubles. Bitcoin Cash, the BSV, do they all double? I do think they get back there, but how quickly? I think Doge has the most potential to get there quicker. And Ethereum Classic, well, that's another one. I could never wrap my arms around the Classic because, like I said, when I first bought the Classic, take a look at the Classic in May. Oh, it's like unbelievable. I mean, it went up to 150. I mean, I think I paid 95 as the first time I bought the Classic, and it just went straight down from there. It's not even, I'm telling you, I bought it in May, maybe the late May on the way down. Yeah, May 16th, 95.40 I think I paid, and got crushed in that. So I don't know. That's the one that I guess because I took the biggest hit, I kind of moved my money out of the Classic and into the others. But those are my thoughts on the cryptos. I believe that there are going to be more people coming into it, more people gambling, as my buddy says. It's a little gambling session here, but there you go. That's it. That's it for my thoughts today, guys. Like I said, we're covering a little current events, cryptocurrencies, and all things how to drink from the fountain of youth. Hopefully you buy a copy of the book, get it on Amazon. My other book, too, is a good one, too. It's my memoir. I wrote that 10 years ago when I was running out of money, but that's funny. That's more funny, real cool stories. But do it. Stay true to your dreams. Stay true to your thoughts. Believe you're young. Know you're young. It's more than just belief. It's knowing. Get your workout in, without a doubt. Get your workout in, everyone. And hey, if you're going out tonight, New Year's Eve, give a shout out to everybody in New York City. I did that. Did the Times Square. Wow, I did it one time when it was maybe like 5 degrees, super cold, craziness. Those are back in my drinking days. And I haven't done that, as you know, over 14 years. So sobriety rules. Stay sober if you can, guys, but stay safe. Most importantly, stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't drink and drive. No way. Stay away from that nonsense. But have an awesome time. That's right. Stay positive. And love your life, love your family, love the world, and get your workout in. Happy New Year. Peace.